Hey Richard, so I would you got a couple. Let's start with this one here. Definitely coming from Inventor or an AutoCAD product, I would go with SAT. So in this file here, the issue you have, I think, is you have some doubles, and then also I'll talk to you about how to control the direction. So what I mean by doubles are if you just remember in your SAT file coming from Inventor, if you have your original curves in there, they can transfer over in there too. So like in this file, for instance, if I select that and delete it, there's still one there, and it's the same for all of them. So like you had the original curves. See, I'm just selecting and deleting all of those, and everything's doubled up. So that can be very problematic for your geometry and selecting and everything. So there's a utility in here too, and under um, erase doubles under reorganize. And then if I just select them all and I go like this, it's really supposed to take care of that for us. So now if I just select anything and delete it, there should be no doubles. You see what I mean? And so that would be the first thing to do. Then reselecting your geometry would work. So but normally though, um, what I would do is if you bring in your SAT file, let's open that up. Let's blank it. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is just erase all of your lines you have, and then unblank my solid back. Okay, so now I would just bring in a solid. The first thing you might want to do when you test, when you bring your solid in from Inventor, is blank your solid and make sure there's no leftover curves from the construction or something sitting around that's getting in the way. If all you are doing is bringing in a solid, then you could come here, extract edges from solid, just to select the solid once and say OK, and now you can blank your solid out. And now we don't have doubles. Now, something about the Inventor solids does do the half thing, but that's okay. These are just two arcs and it's a full one. So now that I'm sure I only have one entity where it's supposed to be, I can start over with my selection. So right here, you just shift click, right? Each one of these, shift click, and it should highlight the entire thing as a chain selection. And now I'll recalculate that toolpath, and it stays the same, so it went in the same order. And if you shift click one of these and it only selects half of it, doesn't go around, and there's a problem, it doesn't have a connection. You'll have to check that out. So now on your feature profile, let's reselect those. And first remove the old one just to be clear. Now let's reselect those. So now I'm going to shift click, right? And now remember, now I'm going to compute toolpath and nothing shows up. But remember, there's a direction, yeah? And in your profile, under the pattern right now, we're offsetting it to the left. So that would, if all arcs and in basic CAD programs, everything starts over here on the right side, 0, and it goes around this way, 360 degrees. So offsetting to the left is on the inside, not enough room for the tool. So now that I'm sure I only have one entity for each one, I could offset it to the right and compute the toolpath, and then they all show up. When I first opened up your file, these three would post and this one wouldn't. So there was somehow something was reversed in the way that one was. And then if you would reverse that, then this one would post, the others wouldn't. So basically you just get, as long as you have true single entities, then the right and the left works. Now, you're wanting to control the direction, and since the arcs have an actual direction to them, the way you control the direction in BobCAD is by using what's called a contour, which creates a separate entity out of this, which also has a directional value. So the contour is going to be counterclockwise, and clockwise, right? So if I shift click that, it's going clockwise already. So that's reversed it now. So now offsetting to the left would be the outside, right? So entities have a directional value, and you can tell by the way the cone arrow is pointing. So I just shift click all of those. There's a utility for reversing. Once you make a contour, you can reverse it by choosing that, selecting it, and it'll flip the cone going the other way. Now, under my profile, let's remove that and reselect the geometry that's pointing in the other way. And now if I compute, it won't show up anything again because the toolpath doesn't fit. But now I can put it back to the left under patterns, which is what I think you were looking for, and then compute, and it goes. And now the toolpath is actually going around this way, not around this way. And then all of them compute. So getting good clean entities, only single ones, make sure we're not creating doubles. When you get doubles stacked on top of each other, then yeah, I don't know why. I mean, it doesn't really like that. So there's a utility for erasing them or just being sure you have those in the first place. So no, that one should go good. And I'll move on to the other one. You know, you're talking about the blocks. I'll look at that. I think that's just tooling doesn't fit the way it was chosen. We can get into that more. Let me open up the other file and look. The other thing too is I can't find this post, so I'm going to ask you to post it for me.